Okay, what are you going to need for your SCHNOZZEL adapter? And actually the adapter goes on your sleeping pad, doesn't go on a SCHNOZZEL. So you can still use your SCHNOZZEL for other things. You're going to need 1.5 inches of 5/8 inch outer diameter and about a 1/2 inch inner diameter rubber tubing. It's the clear rubber tubing that you buy in a hardware store. So go out and buy a foot of it, it's cheap. Next you're going to need a pair of needle nose pliers and a pan with some water in it that you're going to boil to soften up the tube. So let me show you the end product in just a moment, and I'll quickly go over how you do this. You take your 1.5 inch of tubing, you boil your water, have it boiling, take your needle nose pliers and hold on to the 1.5 inch length of tubing, dip about 1/2 of it inside the boiling water, into the boiling water. So what you're doing is softening up the tubing. After not very long, just a few seconds, you can take that out and then grab a hold of the cool end with your fingers, take the needle nose pliers and stretch out the hot end so that the opening is larger than a 1/2 inch, and then quickly take your sleeping pad valve and work that tubing that has been shaped onto the valve. And you push it on about a good 1/2 inch, as far as you can get it, so that it's about halfway on to the nozzle on your sleeping pad. Then you let it cool, and then you trim the other end, the open end. You trim that with a razor blade so that the outer diameter is a little bit smaller, because you're going to take that end of the tubing and push that into your SCHNOZZEL valve. And it takes a little bit to get that in there, but once you get that in there, then it makes it a piece of cake to blow up your sleeping pad with your SCHNOZZEL. Let me demonstrate. Okay, so here's the sleeping pad out of the SCHNOZZEL dry bag. And if I just start to unroll it, there is my modified valve. So I'll put that up close here so that you can see it. Now you can begin to see what I'm talking about. Alright, so that's what the finished product looks like. Okay, so I want to quickly show you what the SCHNOZZEL end looks like that you have to push that tubing into. Basically it looks like this. You open that up, and that right there is where you put that nozzle into. Once you get the nozzle in there, then you can begin to use the actual SCHNOZZEL to fill your NeoAir Thermalite sleeping pad. So let's take a look at what that looks like after you attach it. Oh yeah, one other thing I want to show you is, here's your nozzle, here's your SCHNOZZEL. The nozzle on the SCHNOZZEL, that's pretty good. So anyways, what you want to prevent from happening is for that opening to get twisted. See how it's twisted right now? If you try and use it now, it will not fill your sleeping pad. So make sure that this tube where the air comes through into the sleeping pad is straight. Okay, the way this SCHNOZZEL works, and it takes some practice, but it's basically just a big bag, and you just go like this to fill it with some air. Then you twist this down like you're rolling up a dry bag, and there's all the air that's in there. Now again, you've got to make sure that that air tube is not twisted, but you see how the air is going in there? Alright, so once you get the first one in, you unroll this, and you just go like this, again, to fill it with some air. Once you've captured some air, you roll it back down. And you push it again. And make sure that you've undone or opened your air valve on your air mattress, or else the air won't go in. So you just basically capture some air, roll it back down, it's a lot easier. My air mattress is almost full. It's a lot easier than trying to blow it up with your mouth. Capture some more air. What is this, the fourth time maybe? It's almost completely full of air. Okay, once you get your air mattress full, you do have to pull this out, and you just quickly turn that valve to lock the air in. And here's my air mattress, completely full of air. And if you need to touch it up, add some more air, you can do that with your mouth. A couple of tiny blows and you'll be all set. So that's what it looks like. Very, very convenient. And I love the guy that came up with it. It wasn't me, it was somebody else. Have a great day. Please subscribe to my videos and tell your friends. Alright, so let's first talk about what materials... Okay, let's first talk about what materials you are going to need. And it doesn't cost very much. All you need is about 1.5 inch long piece cut blooper. Ah!